Life is mid to high level suck at the moment. The government is in chaotic ruins, people seem to have forgotten how to treat each other, money is tight, it seems impossible to live up to your ambitions. However, a high school put on a production of Alien as its school play, and that gives me life. So the story that's been circling around the internet a little bit goes, a New Jersey high school drama club put on a production of Alien as its school play. Kids playing all the roles, all the sets and props made from recycled materials that they scrounged together. You know, they had very little money, they had to forge and scavenge the pieces together, and then the parents come in, the lights dim, and they watch these kids put on a DIY production of Alien. A cardboard xenomorph weaving between the rows, scaring the audience. And if you think that sounds terrible and cringe-inducing, then I hate you. And you should feel badly. If you don't know me very well, this is exactly my aesthetic. Children putting on a cardboard production of a gritty sci-fi thriller horror is exactly my brand. I myself did a take on Alien. I sort of remade bits from it in a parody YouTube video, so I guess it's some kind of rite of passage to forge yourself scenes from Alien. So let's sideline the play for a minute and talk a bit about something that makes the original Alien film so special. It's incredibly tactile. The art director and prop makers, as a money-saving measure, made the world of the film out of junk. Out of scrap. Any metal they could lay their hands on was fused and forged into the walls of the ship. This scavenging style sounds pretty familiar, doesn't it? It's part of what makes the film incredibly immersive and in turn adds to the claustrophobic feeling of its horror. Everything looks like it's about to fall apart and like it was bolted together in order to hem you in. You can feel the walls closing in because the walls feel so real. You feel like you can reach out and touch the film. Look at the way Alien is made and how that contributes to how you feel when you watch it. You begin to see that this is perfect for the spirit of the movie. A stage play where the audience are literally feet away from the xenomorph. They're in the same lighting that's lighting the corridors. The xenomorph can literally jump down into the audience. So amazingly, this no-budget school play is a perfect reflection and successor of what I feel is the spirit of Alien. Apart from any effect it has on the diegetic aesthetic, one of the main reasons I love the DIY style is it makes the film feel made, created, and in turn that makes it the first part of a conversation. There are a few clips of the school play on Twitter and you can hear the audience. They love it. This is what filmmaking is really, truly in my heart about to me. It's not about creating an airtight formula. This isn't equation building or rocket science. It's a dialogue between the creator and the audience, and it's something I think the film Be Kind Rewind really gets at. So Be Kind Rewind is about a video store clerk and Jack Black wiping the tapes of the video store in their local community and trying to save the business by remaking themselves all of the videos. Jack Black and the video store clerk create no-budget versions of RoboCop, Rush Hour, Ghostbusters that's just themselves in, you know, terrible costumes running around acting out the movies.
I'm sorry, stop, cut.
They assemble the props and sets from the local scrapyard, again scavenging and foraging for pieces of their film world. Now there's actually more to the film than the inherent comedy in their no-budget mockbusters. In fact, the movie doesn't spend that much time laughing at them, because very quickly we realise the community that they're making these films for love them. They almost prefer them to the original blockbusters, because these new versions of the film speak to them in a way that the originals perhaps couldn't. These new films are part of their community and therefore create a kind of dialogue with them. They feel like these films are a form of communication. They speak to the film and the film now answers back. They get involved with these productions. It escalates higher and higher. You know, it gets to the point where the studio wants to shut them down because it's getting too big. Actually, is it? I think it's Sigourney Weaver who comes and shuts them down. This wasn't so much of a tangent as I thought it was gonna be. There's some thematic linking here. Phew! That's a relief. Knowing they can no longer replicate the Hollywood films, the community moves on to using film to tell its own story. They've completely reclaimed film as a medium by the end. It's just them speaking to each other, comforting each other, telling each other a story, and it's beautiful. The style of guerrilla filmmaking in Be Kind Rewind is dubbed Sweding, and it's no surprise that it very quickly swept the internet around the release of that movie. There were Sweded clips, trailers, everyone was grabbing as much cardboard as they could lay their hands on and having a go at something. People felt like they could reclaim these big, unattainable Hollywood blockbuster movies and work together with their friends to be heard. A few years later, there was a Pacific Rim trailer Swede that Guillermo del Toro definitely saw.
Cling!
Wow! People were able to interface with the actual Hollywood directors. I hope Ridley Scott is aware of the school play story, and I hope he feels bad about it because they have risen to feats that he will never be capable of. Perhaps even more closely linked to the Alien school play, you've got School of Rock, in which Jack Black teaches a bunch of preppy school kids how to express themselves through the medium of rock. I like how Jack Black, through his most prominent roles, has culturally become this kind of fairy godmother of artistic self-expression. I love Jack Black. In School of Rock, the kids learn how to express themselves like never before, and so communicate with each other. They form, you know, this band that rely on each other, and they learn each other's quirks and skills through that. They know each other more than they ever have before through starting this band.
I have been touched by your kids. And I'm pretty sure I've touched them. What?
At the end of the film, when they enter the big competition in the big climax, they lose. Because when you make a film, or a play, or a song, it's actually not about winning the prize. It's not about perfection, it's not about society giving you some kind of status quo pat on the back, here's your medal, here's your trophy. What does happen is that the parents, outraged that their children are in a rock band, in a rock tournament, arrive at the show to try and break it up, to try and put a stop to this nonsense, but they end up hearing them play. They hear the kids play, and when they hear that song, that's probably the most frank conversation these parents have ever had with their kids. For the first time, they're listening to their expression and who they are, quirks and all, and they're really listening. And they answer back. The whole crowd answers back when, despite School of Rock losing, everyone cries out for an encore. They want more. School of Rock yells out at the audience, and the audience yells back. They didn't need to win, because the expression and the conversation that comes from that is what's of value. I'm gonna go ahead and say it. This school play that I haven't seen is better than most of the Alien sequels. No, I'm just gonna say it. It's better than the first Alien because it's closer to my heart and what I feel is special. The Alien school play sustains me and gives me life. Fund arts programs in schools!